Hello and welcome to my youtube.com. Today we have a little bit of a different subject. I am covering one. It's not just going to be me talking in front of a microphone for 20 minutes. It's going to be me talking in front of a microphone in front of a green screen for 20 minutes. See, normally the way that this channel works is a little bit of a stream of consciousness thing, but I've decided with the new year, new me, new channel, I am going to be recreating, shall we say, different video game characters, different literary characters, anything that doesn't really have its own voice. I'm going to be speaking for them. With that in mind, I would like to bring your attention to our first person of the new year. You know him, you love him. He's from Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, Dragon Quest builders, for the 5 people that played that. He is the Dragonlord, and we're going to be talking about him real soon. Stick tight. Oh yeah, I also painted him, so if you want to see that too, I've got some footage for you. Dragon Quest, released by Chunsoft on the Famicom in 1986, was an instant classic. Now you might not believe this, but it was actually one of the first, if not the first game that really nailed in the whole JRPG style, turn-based action. It was groundbreaking. Literally, the whole thing sprung up overnight. Final Fantasy released not that long after. A lot of people think that they were the first, but it was actually Dragon Quest that did it first. Please be nice to me if you Google that and it's not true. I will cry. If you look at the story with a modern eye, it's a very simple story. Evil wizard kidnaps the princess, curses the kingdom. What makes things worse? He took the orb of light from the castle and invented monsters. What are you gonna do, right? And a Nepo baby warrior has to rise up and save the day and save the princess. Once you defeat enough monsters, you'll level up and you'll be able to run that wizard through, take back the orb, rescue the princess from the other dragon, because he's not really, he's a dragon lord, you see. He's a lord of dragons. He is the dragon lord. So of course there's another dragon. So you steal the orb, you take the princess back from the dragon, you save the day, you get the girl, everyone wins, right? But the dragon lord offers you a proposition. Work with him, he'll give you half of everything in the world. Who's gonna say no to that? Foreshadowing is a literary device that the dragon lord, who I just decided right now kind of looks like a Dougie. Can we fix that title actually, please? Come on. Perfect, thank you. You know, it's me editing this, right? Like, I don't got another person. So Dougie is an ancient and powerful sorcerer born a Brazilian years ago to an ancient and powerful mother named the Dragon Queen, who we meet in the events of Dragon Quest III. Okay, so the first few games kind of occur in triplets. So 1, 2, 3 is a game series, 4, 5, 6 is a game series. The first one is usually called the Edric trilogy. Second one is Zenithian trilogy. It's not really important what they're called. It's just the first 3 are connected. They all take place in a world named Alefgard. Again, not that important. It's just names. It's just noun the game, right? Dougie's a bit camera shy, unfortunately. All you really learn about him is that he's done evil things and he can turn into a dragon also, which does not just make him a lord of dragons. It makes him the Dragonlord. It's a baby behemoth. Because of how simple the story is by today's standard, we have a very incomplete picture. But we have supplemental materials and a whole other game in which the Dragonlord is a key player, as well as a reprising role as his own grandson. Dougie's birth was shown, not in any great detail thankfully, in a manga named The Emblem of Roto, which ran from 1991 to 1997. Named Ryu at birth. I looked up what Ryu actually means and the way that they spelled it. It's a little bit different than just like Ryu, which means dragon, but Ryu with an OU means Dragon King or Dragon Lord, which literally makes his name Dragonlord, Dragonlord. Do with that what you will. I found it kind of neat. Dougie D's first felonies are shown in ultra-wide HD. Between the mangas and the HD 2D remakes, which I have yet to play, listen, it's been a bit of a hard year, okay? But what I could see through the wiki and a couple of playthroughs of the HD 2D remakes, Dougie directly references the events of Dragon Quest III and mentions that the Orb of Light was like his teething toy or something. He also talks in an old-fashioned way with a whole bunch of these and thous and arts, and I really like it. Just kind of an aside, the Dragon Quest game that I grew up with, Dragon Quest 4, and they don't really talk like that in that game in the remake, so that they made on the DS. It's all, they went, oh, you know, it's a regional dialect now. It's all regional dialects, and for some reason, Ragnar is Scottish. Not a stereotype or something to be talking like that. You know, let me know if I'm off base here, but if Square Enix had a whole land of Bob and Doug McKenzies, I have reconsidered. Square Enix, let's work something out. The Dragonlord's connection to his heritage is a bit shaky though, as his stepdaddy was the great demon Hargon, a former cleric of the Dragon Queen, eventually replaced as he was a convert. He went from Dragon Queen to evil guy. What are you gonna do, right? He's a bad influence, okay? He's a bent spoon, and he spent a great number of years teaching Dragonlord, or Dougie D, as he is affectionately known in this house, the basics of murder, arson, and jaywalking. So next time we see Dougie D, he's evil, incorrigibly evil, and he's doing evil things by giving people bad names. Not like reputations, naming someone who would have been named Alan Jagan, kind of like Dragon. I'm just putting this is, hey, listen, this is a candid moment. I am just now thinking about correlation between the name Jagan and the word dragon. I think that there's a connection there. Maybe I'm off base. Please let me know. File a complaint in the comments if you think that this is off topic. Fast forward to the events of Dragon Quest the First, where he decides that, hey, actually, being the Lord of Monsters doesn't mean a whole lot if there aren't a whole lot of monsters. So he steals the Orb of Light from the castle at, I think it was Tantagel? I don't remember. It's noun the adjective the game. You know how it is with fantasy games. They have all sorts of names that you gotta remember, and then there's no fast travel system. Actually, I think Zoom is in this game. You gotta remember the names of the castles, otherwise you're gonna be walking all over to hell and back trying to figure out where exactly you need to go next. He steals the Orb of Light, kidnaps the princess, unleashes monsters upon the world, and the events of the Dragon Quest series start. Maybe he thinks Gwaelin is a dumb name too. That's the princess. Princess Gwaelin. I bet she would have gotten teased at school if, she wasn't the king's daughter. Regardless, he gets stabbed and skewered, both man meat and dragon meat, and dies. Blah, blah, blah. He's not going down like the old ruler of darkness. He'll be back. He'll secure his legacy and be back on top. Somehow Dougie is back. He had a kid who also had a kid who also had a kid who was the Dragonlord, but he's not a reincarnation, so it's kind of just a little bit complicated. They look almost exactly the same. It's literally a palette swap between the two. I mean, it's Nintendo. It's the NES. There's not a whole lot of space on the system, so they're going to be reusing assets. Pokemon did the same thing in a lot of cases. Actually, here's a fun thing. Look up the cries, because this is where they saved the space, between Rhydon and Charizard. They're goddamn identical. Anyway, two things you gotta learn from that. It's really complicated, and Dragonlord fucks. Oh, but you know what? Good news, he's good again. He's actually a good guy. He's on the good guy's side, and he's gonna be doing good guy things. Guys, he even comes up with silly nicknames for the heroes, and he tells them exactly how Hargon is gonna be going down. When you do get to fight him in the remakes, it's just a friendly sparring match, and he even gives you better weapons when you win. Why he thinks he knows more than you when you beat him in a fight is anyone's guess, but yeah, maybe that's just me. With the conclusion of Dragon Quest II, chronologically, that's the end of the story of the Dragonlord, with one huge exception. So in Dragon Quest I, the game just ends if you say yes to his proposal, and the Dragonlord just starts laughing like a little high school mean girl. Dragon Quest Builders, released in 2016, takes place in an alternate timeline where the hero of Dragon Quest I says yes to the Dragonlord. You play as the Builder, a new hero who's been awakened to reawaken the land of Alefgard and revitalize the planet. There's a bit of work to do. Dougie's keeping everyone from being able to build. I don't know what exactly that means. What does it mean? What do you mean you can't build? Is Home Depot closed? Are there no more nails? What do you mean you can't build? What do you mean you can't? And it's up to the builder to maintain civic standards and enforce municipal code. The one guard against the encroachment of evil. Dragon Quest Builders is radically different from the original series, where this time instead of a turn-based you fight, then I fight, then you fight, then I win kind of series of events, it's actually a building game, so it's closer to Minecraft than Dragon Quest, essentially. I mean, it's got a nice layer of paint over it, but it's not quite what people were expecting from a Dragon Quest game. Regardless, it still did well. It got a, what is it, an 83 or an 84? I'll put it on screen here, whatever it is. It got that, so that's good. That's not all we got though with the release of Dragon Quest Builders. We also got more motivation for Dougie D. Turns out he's a bit of a family man. He considers taking the act of creativity from the humans of the world as something of a bit of kindness. Don't think too hard about it. His ideal version of the world is a world where monsters are on top. A world where he's got those lousy humans right where he wants them. As long as the builder is around though, it doesn't really work out that way, because he can build, and apparently all you need to get rid of monsters is to build a really nice fence. Maybe some petunias, some begonias, maybe a fountain. Dougie D's not too happy about that, but Dougie D decides to throw the builder a bone and ask him to come join him. That's worked out well for him in the past, so why ruin an old trick, right? He invites the builder to his own land, a land of light. Like, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be a land of light? It's obviously a trap, right? I mean, come on, guys. It's not gonna work twice. They've already played the first game. They know what happens. Get a hold of yourself, Dragonlord. Thankfully, the builder says no, and the final fight happens. Finally, the Dragonlord is vanquished, and peace is returned once again. People can use indoor plumbing. It's got me thinking, though, despite Dougie D's habit of murderizing, he's got some redeeming features. If you're not a human. Hey, so everyone raise your hands if you're not a human. Comment in the comments if you're not a human. Like and subscribe if you're not a human. He's a good family man. He's got his priorities right. He really likes monsters. After all, his whole deal was making a world where monsters could thrive. A bit short-sighted if he thought that humans and monsters couldn't really cooperate. I mean, I've played the Dragon Quest Monsters spin-off series. We'll talk about that later. I've got some thoughts. I've got some thoughts about Joker. I've got some thoughts about Kobe and Tara. I've got thoughts, people. We've got Sorrow. That's Dragon Quest 4 and Dragon Quest Monsters 3. That's another story. But I've got thoughts, people. I am so full of thoughts, I'm surprised that my ears aren't leaking. Okay, so the Dragonlord's a guy whose whole plan hinged on the thought that the hero would just say yes. And maybe he'd just take the knee this one time. Listen, the hero fights a 15-foot tall golem made of rocks. He's 4-star loco. It was a long shot, and frankly, I'm surprised that it even worked in an alternate dimension. But even with all that, it leads into the editorialization of the world of Alefgard and its propaganda. So we can all agree that this is Hargon's fault, right? I think we can all agree that Dougie D's not the biggest issue that this world has, even though, you know, his evil plan did work. He's vulnerable to swords. How bad can he be? I mean, really, you stab him and he dies. That's a problem that can be solved. That's a solvable issue, you know? He had 2 games, a spin-off, and several introductions in other games. He's a patsy. He's a fall guy. A few pies short of a game of catch. After all, if Hargon hadn't grabbed Queenie's egg, Dougie would have grown up to be an upstanding member of society just like his grandson. But instead, thanks to Hargon, he's pre-booked for DUI and an unlicensed firearm. You know, admittedly is a problem for the community that he was supposed to be looking after. His dad was a demon, guys. He's already got the deck stacked against him. Maybe he just grew up and he was a middle manager who was a bully. You know, that's the best that we could have hoped for. Let he who has not thrown the world into eternal darkness cast the first stone. Am I right? I get it. I really do. He's not doing a great job working out his issues, and that's his responsibility to deal with. I'm not excusing his actions. I'm explaining them. I feel like very few people have done that for him. Do you think that Hargon ever really gave him a heart-to-heart? played a game of catch with him, gave him the talk. You know, he does have a great grandson, so he'd have to have done the deed at least once. You think he takes the hat off for that? Let me know in the comments if you think he takes the hat off for that. So he's a menace, a real rude boy, a great big rotten egg, and a tall glass of vinegar. He's a good dad. I'll give him that. And he's community oriented, but he's just a little homophobic. Oh, that's homophobic as in human centric, not as in against gay rights. If anything, he would be for gay rights, because if everyone was gay just by nature of there being less people having accidental babies, there'd be less people. I can't presume to talk about his other prejudices, but given how his people present themselves, I can't imagine that he's very discriminatory based on how people act. I really don't think this is a line that he's stuck on. Frankly, we get into bigger problems here because I don't know how much of a chance he even has to be a bigot. I mean, Square Enix and Chunsoft were not known for making anything queer-centric in their stories. You got a couple. I think Dragon Quest XI has one or two. You know, there's Sylvando, obviously. There's sometimes Eric. There's a wedding scene and he's really disappointed if you say that you were just playing along. You know, there's Alana, but that's Dragon Quest IV. So Square Enix, you're on notice. I don't think that there's anybody that's completely irredeemable, given that they have a top-notch PR team and maybe a body double with dreamy eyes. I fully believe that we as a gaming community can look past this indiscretion of his just this once. Or twice, or 3 times. How many times did he try to destroy the world? Anyway, this human genocide, it's a thing of the past. It doesn't matter. Let's just appreciate Dougie for the person that he is, the company that he brings us, and his amazing hat / hair. I never really, is it hat or is it hair? Hey, comment in the comments if you think it's hat or hair. Regardless, he is flawless. He is top notch in the support that he offers his monster people. That makes me a believer. Now let's get serious for a moment. We know from quite a few Dragon Quest games that monsters have just as many differences in their temperaments as humans do. There have been just as many evil humans as there have been good monsters, if not more so. I mean, heck, half of the monsters used to be evil humans. The ability of these monsters to evolve and change the way that they do is really something that I should come back to. I'm putting a pin in it. That's the pin. It's in it. We'll visit that topic on another day. It's all good. Monster World from Dragon Quest Monsters 2, released in 2001 on the Game Boy, is a prime example. They have a fully functioning world that is just monsters. There's not a human to be seen. There's zombies. There's things that could have been human at one point, but they're not human anymore. They're monsters. It's a very distinct difference. They're running smooth as a marble with all of the government and I think there's monster royalty. It's all running just as smooth as a zombie dragon could make it run. You know, my problem is that we get one perspective for the problems that the Dragonlord creates, and it's the perspective of the humans. I would like to say explicitly that this rant is based on taking this argument to its literal extreme. I do not endorse genocide. I do not favor monsters. Please do not put in the news that I am a monster fucker. So, Dragon Quest Builders happens. Let's see how the world of Monsterkind is handling Dougie's gift. Are there any Dracky hockey leagues? Are there any slime community halls? Is there a single goddamn dessert demon school district? The problem is we just don't know, because that's not the story that they wanted to tell. They wanted to tell how humans were dealing with it. They wanted to tell how people thought about this. I say that that's not the true story. I say that the story is how monsters were handed this golden age and they screwed it all up. Listen, I won't get too far into this conversation. It's not really my place to talk about it. Humans are hard on nature. And for the sake of argument, I'm categorizing monsters as nature. It just seems like something that they are, you know? It's just what they do. They're natural magical things. I don't know. Come on in, you brat. Come on. You got anything to say? We have engineered animals to the point where it is physically unhealthy for them to be doing the jobs that we've bred them to do. I'm a vegan, by the way. Hi, fellow vegans. How are you? Stop your booing. What are you doing, you little brat? Are you trying to leave already? We burn forests, poison rivers, and trawl the bottom of the ocean, breaking off anything that may be in the way. We're not the best stewards. But don't you think that nature would do something about it if they could? Like, I get it, okay? The technology of Alefgard's not really in a place where they can do any of the things that we really have the capability to do at the scales that we do them, but it's coming. Airships, steampunk, it's all an inevitability. Eventually the devs decide that something is cool and it goes into the game. Hi, you're in the shot, baby boy. This is the brat. Mr. Tigger, can I persuade you to leave? Come on, get the fuck out of here. No, let's get you a treat. I've got the other one too. Hold on, you two. I'm a schmuck. Eat him up. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Anyway, like, I get it. The world of Alefgard, the technology that they have is peanuts compared to what we can do in today's time and place. It's very unlikely that humans could have as destructive an influence on their world as we've had on ours. That doesn't mean that it's going to always be that way, though. The way I see it, the monsters are something of a balancing act between what humans want and what nature wants. And I think the Dragonlord's got something to do with that. I mean, the Dragonlord's got a very storied past. He's a dragon. He's practically a demigod, for God's sakes. It's possible his powers even give him the ability to see through time. I don't have anything to suggest that. The Dragonlord has maybe 20 lines in, oh my God, it's 40 years now. It's been 40 years since the release of Dragon Quest I. In 40 years, he's had a handful of lines. Why can't I give him something? Why can't he just have something just this once? If you had the chance to snap your fingers and all of those problems just went away, don't you think you'd take it? Even if a couple of people, didn't get what they wanted. I get it. Chunsoft just wanted to make a game that was simple, defeat the bad guy, get the princess. Nice and simple, right? Simple sells. They wrote a monster who's just a monster. In Dragon Quest I, the Dragonlord stole the Orb of Light because he could. There was no other motivation for that. It wasn't his birthright. He just wanted it, and so he took it. It was later that we tacked everything on. It was later that we added all of this meaning to what he's doing. There has to be a meaning. There has to be a reason. If he's just doing something bad to be bad, that doesn't make sense. He has to be getting something out of it. But Dragon Quest I, he's bad. What do you want? You want a novel? Grab your sword. Take turns cutting each other up. If all we had was the first Dragon Quest game, this would have been a real short story. But the problem is that people don't like a short story. People like nuance. They want a story that they can really sink their teeth into and chew and tear and just... It started small. I think it was Dragon Quest II that really showed that the Dragonlord could be a good guy. Showing his grandkid. It's not the same person, but he could be a good kid. Then Dragon Quest III shows up and shows us why the Dragonlord is a bit of a rotten egg. Not his fault. His mom died. It showed how Hargon corrupted the Dragonlord, how he twisted him and turned him to the world of darkness. It led to a place where he wasn't really safe to say no to. He didn't know anything else. He just knew that there was evil, and that was what he was allowed to do. Demon Daddy determined his duties definitively. They showed him being a team player and building up his fellow monsters, and making a world that he could be proud of. A world that he could share with them. Yeah, a few humans got hurt, but that's what he's supposed to do, right? He's a monster. And honestly, the only thing better than a monster is a complicated monster. I mean, look at me. I love his dumb little hat. He's like as if Maleficent had a baby with Count Chocula. I adore that. Please do not consider this a critique of his design style. Everyone should have these dumb little hats. Is he a media darling? Is he popular? Is he groundbreaking? Probably neither of those things. Probably neither of those things. Yeah, he's neither of those things. Was this just a fun excuse to go talk about a goofy little guy? Probably. He's not gonna win any rewards for complexity or nuance. Hell, he'll be lucky to get his name in a mainline game again. Whenever that is. Though, whenever that happens, going forward, he'll at least have one fan. Anyway, that's my goofy little guy. I hope you like it. Hey everyone, I hope you liked the video. If you did, why not subscribe and leave a like? Got any questions, comments, or suggestions? Leave a little note. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.